I think I was supposed to play golf with Chris Corso from Rutgers yesterday, and I decided, you know what, there's no way we're getting 18 in, so we canceled that. But I took my son, I'm going to get 9 in. So he goes, beautiful out when we get there. It's 92 degrees. There wasn't, I don't want to say there wasn't a cloud in the sky, but it wasn't terrible. It was nice. It was nice.
It was nice.
Everything was good. We get to the 5th hole, and all of a sudden, I see the black clouds. 6th hole, it's getting darker. 7th hole, the first drips and drabs of rain start coming down, little sprinkles. By the 8th hole, now it's raining. By 9, there are chunks of water coming down. And by the 9th green, I'm like, let's go. They sounded the horn, and we're running to the car. Joe, the
Nothing
thunder.
worse than when you're playing golf and that freaking horn goes off.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Except for the fact that I was on the 9th green and we were leaving anyway.
Well,
but
you're
right.
Then it's okay.
The violent nature of the thunder that we heard yesterday, at least by me, Eddie, you're not far from me. Did you get it too?
Oh, yeah.
They sounded like explosions. Oh, it was almost jarring. And I would say for me, I know it was different for you. You got it later.
Yeah, we did.
From 3:30 all the way until, I woke up at one point at like 9 p.m. from a big thing of thunder. It was intense. Like, it was as advertised yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and I know you blew it because you could have played and instead you ended up by the pool all day. But it was pretty wild.
I was concerned that what happened to you was going to happen to me.
Man.
So, we when I got home, I told Terry, I said, look, it's freaking beautiful out. I said, let's see if we can play. So she saw, when we got a nice 9-hole course, Orchard Hills, one of the county courses by us in Paramus. I only wanted to play 9. And she could get like a 110 tee time, she said. But I was a little worried because it's showing like 3 o'clock. Are you kidding me? We didn't get any rain until it had to be like 6:30.
Yeah, you got it a few hours later than we did.
I was at the pool till like 4:30, and it was beautiful.
And I was very impressed when I heard, because I get in the car, whatever time it was, 3:30, that the Yankees had already canceled the game because that forecast was brutal.
Yes.
So they do the right thing. They'll play too. So with that said, and we will get to them in a moment as well.
By the way, I'm glad I missed the Met game. I went to bed about 7 o'clock.
That's where we're going to go, because I did see a good portion of this morning when I came in on MLB.TV.
Right.
I tried to watch
use the replay now so I can see the replay here.
You don't want to watch the replay. And here's
I do.
Said to you, and I know. Here's what I said to you yesterday. And I know it's like a broken record, but that's what this team is to me. I don't know what they are. So you go into a place in Colorado. Now, they still can win the series. I'm not saying that the series is over and it's a complete failure, but you're playing another team that is 30 games under 500. 30 games under 500. And the team that is getting the big 2-out base hits with runners in scoring position is the crappy team that's 30 games under 500. I'll give you a couple of situations here.
Go ahead.
Where from the game that I jotted down.
What I saw, the guys who drove runs in were Nimmo and Bader, right?
That's correct. And they almost had Terrence had a ground ball over the third base bag that I forget who the third baseman is, but he made a really nice play on the ball and the throw across the diamond. Otherwise, the Mets would have been set up in that situation with bases loaded and either no out or 1 out. I forget. They wound up getting the hit right after they get the runs in, but I think that was the Bader 2-run single. That having been said, I'll give you a couple of scenarios here, okay? You've got the Mets score those 2 runs that I'm just referencing. Before you can even...
So they were ahead in this game, the Mets?
Yeah, they go ahead.
2-0.
Correct.
Okay.
Top of the second, they score 2 runs. Could have been more, but again, the third baseman makes a nice play.
Okay. Right. And who got the big hit there? Bader?
That was Bader. That was the Bader 2-run single.
Right.
So top 2, you score 2 runs. You feel good about yourself. You just beat St. Louis. Okay, great. Severino, who had a really good first inning, goes out there in the bottom of the second and gets the first guy out. 0-2 pitch on the next guy. Hit by pitch. Okay, fine.
Oh, that makes me delirious.
Colorado then gets a base hit.
Right.
You think you're going to have second and third and 1 out, except for the fact that Bader has a bad throw into the infield. Vientos backing up the throw, kind of, I don't know if he missed it.
What, do you lay it like or something like that?
Something like that. And he winds up getting to the ball before the dugout, and then as he goes to makes the transfer, the ball falls out of his glove and his hand and then hits the netting right in front of the dugout. All right, guy on third comes home to score.
Oh, God.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. Okay, fine. So then that happens. So be it. And that was the end to it.
So what is it, 2-1 now?
So it's 2-1.
Right.
This is what I'm talking about with the 2-out stuff.
Right.
You got the bottom of the 4th inning. The Mets are still up 2-1, I believe it is. Elias Diaz comes up with 2 outs, RBI double to right. Still 2 outs, Jake Cave, 2-run homer.
Ugh.
This is the play here. So you know what? It's funny.
Oh, here
From that
it is. I'm
angle,
seeing it.
Vientos wasn't even really backing it up.
I'm watching the replay here. Did Alonso lead off last night?
No, he was back to the 4 spot.
Oh, okay, because I guess they jumped to the second inning.
Back to the 4 spot.
Okay.
But the 2-out hits Diaz and Cave. The double and the home run puts Colorado ahead 4-2. All right, you're not thrilled. Nimmo comes back in the 5th, makes it 4-3 with an RBI single. Great.
Right.
Here we go. They score the run right back to the bottom of the 5th. Brendan Rodgers, a 2-out RBI double off Severino. It's like he couldn't get that out pitch in these two big spots.
He hasn't been good. Severino lately, I mean, look, it's 5 runs. I know you mentioned he wasn't as bad as the numbers say. I heard Mendoza say it as well on the radio this morning. But, I mean, come on. He hasn't been good lately, Severino.
I agree. And it was the fact that he couldn't get out of these innings. Because, if you watched him in certain spots last night, he was throwing 98.
Right.
He had command in spots. Other times he didn't when he had the 0-2 hit by pitch. Hits the batter. But then here's where this will drive you nuts. So after you get the 2-out RBI double from Rodgers.
And where are we now? 4-2?
That's bottom 5. Puts them up 5-3.
5-3. Okay.
Let's go to the 6th.
Right.
The Mets have first and third, 1 out. And Jesse Winker you could not have rolled the ball out better
for a
to
double
the second
play?
baseman for an inning-ending double play. It's still 5-3. Top of the 7th, J.D. Martinez, second and third, 2 out, ground out. And that's pretty much your ball game. And then whoever this Alex Young is, he comes in. So your guy came in and pitched a couple of good innings. The guy who gave up the home run the other day. What's his name? Whatever. The new reliever.
Oh, Stanek?
No. The new Met reliever.
We got a ton of new. Barbizon or whatever his name is.
Whatever he is.
Right.
Yeah, he pitched a couple innings last night.
Marlins.
Correct. He was okay last night, but then Young gives out. And then the Mets did nothing in the 9th inning. And that's it. And it's one of those games like Al always talks about these West Coast trips. You go to bed, you wake up, the game's over. Did it really happen?
Right.
Yeah, it happened in front of very few fans against a crappy team. And you've got the Padres continue to win. The Diamondbacks continue to win. And you've got the Braves sliding now. All of a sudden, guess who you're chasing for the 3rd spot? The Braves.
Unbelievable.
And these are games, I agree with you. Go 5-5.
5-5.
6-4 is what I thought.
Right.
5-5 you'll take. The problem is you're not going to make up any ground. And you've got another West Coast trip at the end of the month. And these are the crappy teams that you need to be winning series against.
Yeah. Now, look, I mean, when I saw this road trip, my first thought was 5-5. I got to tell you, right off the top of my head, I said, this team's going to go 5-5. You know
what the problem is with that, Joe?
It's a terrible trip. And here's the other thing, too. And people get crazy, Anybody beats anybody in baseball. This is baseball. I mean, 162 games. You're gonna lose games to bad teams. I'm sorry.
I don't disagree with you, but I think if you are what you think you are, and you think you're a playoff team, I'm not saying that they. I was listening yesterday to the station a little bit. Maybe it was Brandon. Maybe it was even Tommy. I'm not even sure. Talking about you got to go in and sweep the Rockies. I'm not saying that. But you got to win the series. But this is a bad team.
But I think there's another thing at work here too, and this is my mindset with the Mets this year. I've said this to you yesterday. All right, they're 59-54 now. If you would have told me 2.5 months ago that I'm going to be sitting here in early August and they're 5 games over 500, I said you're out of your mind. Okay, I had no expectation level for this team this year. Okay, and I understand they go on this crazy streak and they're playing great. Now all of a sudden the expectation level has been raised. You gotta. It is what it is. This team is what they are. If they're giving us a season, okay, which we didn't think we were going to get. I thought by this time the team would look completely different than it did 2 months ago.
Agreed.
Because they would have got rid of everybody. All right, that's what I was thinking at back in May or whenever it was. But it is what it is. They're giving us a season. If they make the playoffs, great. Okay? If they don't make the playoffs, okay, because I didn't expect it anyway. So I'm not sitting here as a Met fan. I know a lot of Met fans, I get a text from Joey and Clark last night. Oh, Severino, you couldn't have him. He sucks. Joey's got to calm down. Joey and Clark looks at the baseball season like it's the NFL. Okay? You can't look at it that way. All right?
But I can look at a series as an NFL.
You could. But again, I love the Mets. I love my team. I've been with them since day one. But my expectation level for this team.
So it didn't change at all? Not at all.
If they make the playoffs, great. If they don't make the playoffs, get me to kick off on Monday night in San Francisco. I'm serious.
This is just the bridge for you to get the football.
Well, it's not really, but I mean, look, if this was the 86, if this was a team of the 80s, yeah, that's a different story. I mean, we're winning 90 to 100 games every year, 108 games, yeah. But nobody thought this team was going to be any good this year. Who's kidding?
Until they were, though.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly.
But they're not dead.
I never said they're dead.
And here's the other thing, too. All right? Here's the other thing, too. They have had, since they got on the hot streak, they've really had no protracted losing streaks.
No, they've been a 500 team since the big.
I think they've lost three straight at one point.
Right.
You know, they lost those 2 in a row in L.A. They come back, they beat St. Louis. You know, like you said, come back and win tonight. Who's pitching? Blackburn tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, come back and win tonight. Win the series. That would be great. But I'm telling you, just get through this road trip at 5-5. That's how I look at it.
Which is what I was about to say, and that's not easy now.
No,
because
Seattle's a good team. Yeah, Seattle's good.
If you told me you started this road trip by losing 2 out of 3 in Seattle, okay, fine. I 5-5, and again, to me, I thought 6-4 because of the way the teams are now playing around you.
Right.
But you're leaving the toughest part of the trip at the end. I mean, you've put yourself in a situation where, you know, if you get last night, and I know every game's different, and they could crush the Rockies now tonight and tomorrow. I totally know. I understand that. But you dropped 2 out of 3 in Anaheim. You got these stupid games here with Seattle staring you in the face. All I'm saying is, to me, I'm actually surprised you have that take, knowing you as long as I do, just because things and circumstances change. And, you know, there's a lot of people that are out there. I never thought they were a great team, but they are kind of what I thought they'd be. Mm-hmm. But at this point, when you put yourself in the conversation and you've got teams like Colorado coming up with the big hits and you haven't, and you continue not to, I'll go back to what I said. I don't know what they are. Well, maybe this is exactly what they are. They're 500.
Well, this team is not, let's be honest, this team has not hit since the All-Star break.
Not at all.
They got a winning record since the All-Star break. What are they, 10-8? I think they're 10-8.
But it's not been, I agree with you. It's not been consistent.
And the big guys aren't hitting. I mean, let's be honest about it. You know, Nimmo, I know he got
Nimmo was good last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, he has not hit. He was the best player on the team going into the All-Star break. He hasn't been that same guy. Right? Alonso's been a disaster. I mean, let's be honest about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, say whatever you want about Pete. Pete is not having a good year. He never gets a big hit. He's batting under 200 with runners in scoring position. Even J.D., as good as he's been at times, you know, there's too many games I'm watching. He's flailing at pitches 5 feet outside. He's swinging at these pitches in the dirt. You know, I mean, that's, you know, Vientos has been great. He hasn't really hit lately either. You know, you're getting big hits from Tyrone Taylor and Harrison Beta. I mean, Iglesias. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alvarez hasn't hit at all.
Nope.
He's got 5 home runs. He had 26 or whatever home runs last year. I mean, so, you know, this is... And the rotation,
they're streaky. They're very streaky.
And the rotation has been okay. It's been okay. Yeah. Is it terrible?
They give you a chance.
You know, Minaya has been phenomenal, right? Obviously, Severino is not pitching well right now. Maybe he's hit a wall. I don't know. You know, Quintana's actually been pretty good. He wasn't great his last time out, but he's been okay. You know, so the rotation. Peterson's pitched better than I thought he would, to be honest with you.
The rotation is not going to dominate anybody, but they'll give you a chance to win. And even Severino last night. Now, he wasn't good. But he also wasn't a complete disaster last night either. I mean, 5 runs in Colorado is not, you wouldn't think, something you can't overcome, especially there. Especially when you look at the home run that Cave hit last night. I don't know if you'll see a highlight of it.
I'm sure they will.
It looks like a pie. And again, there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing just carries and carries and carries. Yeah. And even if you're watching the game, you would have thought it was a pop-up to left field.
Right, yeah. That's what it looked like.
And yet the Mets weren't able to get one of those balls out into the jet stream, and it didn't go anywhere, and they don't hit the home runs last night. But your point is 100% valid. They're not a great starting rotation, but they are good enough to win games.
Yes, they're okay.
And that's what they've been.
And the bullpen still scares me. You can say whatever you want about the bullpen. It's been
different names.
Different names. It still concerns me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Blackburn can do what he did in Anaheim the other day. Come out tonight, give him a good start.
Showing a rotation right here.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And then you'd like to thank, I know the Orioles lost last night, so just quickly, all of the hysteria about the Yankees. And, you know, I get it because they played like one of the worst teams in baseball for 6 or 7 weeks. You know, you wake up this morning and guess who's first place in the AL East? Yeah. Now, they didn't play. I understand that. They get the half game because of the Orioles losing. But the Orioles have been just, you want to talk about average at best. Since the Yankees have been bad, the Orioles have been nothing special. And to me, I'll continue to say it. I think when we get to the end of September, the Yankees will have won this division by 4 or 5 games relatively comfortably.
Well, look, one thing I will say, the Yankees are clearly making the playoffs. And even when they were in a down period, you knew they were still making the playoffs. You know, they're playing bad. They're still 15, 16 games over 500.
Built a cushion, though.
Right. They're making the playoffs. We know that. And I think the other thing here, there's no team in baseball. I got the cough button.
You did this time, yeah.
There's no team in baseball that really jumps out at you as this great team.
But that's it, right? Okay.
I mean, there really is nobody like that.
So right there, for that conversation that you just gave me about the Yankees, about there not being this great team, that's the opportunity that the Mets have in front of them.
I understand that.
The way the Diamondbacks had it in front of them last year. The Rangers took hold of it last year. The Phillies a few years ago as a wild card team blew past everybody, including the Mets and the Braves.
Yep.
That's the point.
Yep.
Exactly what you just said.
No, I understand. But look, again, they're not dead. I mean, they're a game and a half behind the Braves. What, a game and a half behind the Braves for the final wild card spot?
Yes, Atlanta lost 2, I believe, last night.
And like they've been treading water pretty much since the All-Star break. And, let's hope that they got another hot streak coming in them. Let's hope they win tonight. Let's hope this guy Blackburn goes out. Let's hope they start to hit. Because to me, that's really what it is. The big guys are not hitting consistently for this team.
Been a big difference since they mauled the Yankees with those 14 runs.
No question.
That one night where it seemed like they were hitting batting practice.
Well, they had that game where they scored, was against the Twins. They scored 15 runs.
True.
Right? And since then, I mean, really, what have they done?
Not a whole lot.
No.
Not a whole lot. For the Yankees, you get Heal and Warren in one of these straight doubleheaders. They'll try and get it in. It does look like the weather should hold up today.
Who's pitching?
Heal and Will Warren.
I don't know Will Warren.
Yeah, he's the guy pitching.
Do you know him?
Will?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the running for the Cy Young.
Oh, seriously?
He's one of these new guys. I don't know. Will Warren. I don't know. He's pitching tonight. Right. I'm going to tell you, his name's not Nestor Cortez or Marcus Stroman.
No, I just never heard of him. That's why I'm bringing
Warren.
It up.
They need that. I saw Clark Schmidt. They need to get him back too.
Yes,
he's throwing. He threw to Rizzo yesterday. All right, when we come back, we get Peter Schwartz, and I can't forget today because I forgot yesterday. I got something for Peter later on in the morning. I won't make him wait till he's 90, Eddie. I'm telling you now, it's going to be in the 8 o'clock hours. You get off my hands.
Peter maybe Al's going to make it to 112. Peter making it to 90 is questionable.
We'll see. Let's just try to get him to 625 first.
I just hope I make it to 72. Never mind.
That's not good considering he'll be 71.